Imagine waking up one morning and discovering that a machine can write essays, answer questions, create stories, generate code, and even help run businesses. Just a few years ago, that would have sounded like science fiction. But today, it's reality. Artificial intelligence is changing the world faster than almost anyone imagined. Governments are racing to regulate it. Companies are investing billions into it, and millions of people now rely on it every single day. But here's what's remarkable. Not long ago, almost nobody had heard of the company behind this revolution. A company built around one powerful question. What if artificial intelligence could benefit everyone? That company is OpenAI, and its rise has been nothing short of extraordinary. But to understand how OpenAI changed the world, we need to go back. Back to a time before ChatGPT, back to a world where AI was still a niche topic discussed mostly by researchers. The year is 2015. A small group of technology leaders believed artificial intelligence would become one of the most important inventions in human history. A technology capable of transforming how people learn, work, create, and communicate. But alongside that excitement came a serious concern. What if AI became controlled by only a handful of organizations? What if one technology became too powerful? Their answer was bold. Create a research company dedicated to building advanced AI while trying to ensure its benefits could reach humanity as a whole. At the time, almost nobody noticed. The world was focused on smartphones, social media, and electric cars. Artificial intelligence wasn't dominating headlines. OpenAI was small, unknown, and far from becoming a household name. But behind closed doors, its researchers were working on something extraordinary. Something that had the potential to change the future itself. Most of the world had no idea what was coming, and neither did many of OpenAI's competitors. Because while everyone else was focused on the present, OpenAI was preparing for the future. A future that was much closer than anyone realized. And when that future finally arrived, it would ignite one of the biggest technology revolutions in modern history. When OpenAI was founded, its biggest challenge wasn't technology, it was trust. Artificial intelligence had incredible potential, the power to transform the world, but it also raised a frightening question. What if that power ended up in the wrong hands? What if AI was controlled by only a handful of governments or a few giant tech companies? And what if the race for profit became more important than the future of humanity? These were no longer science fiction questions. They were becoming reality. OpenAI believed there had to be a different path, a future where AI could benefit as many people as possible. Not just the most powerful. It was an inspiring vision. But there was one enormous problem. Building advanced AI was unbelievably expensive. Every new model demanded more computing power, more advanced hardware, and some of the brightest researchers in the world. With every breakthrough, the cost kept rising. Millions of dollars became hundreds of millions. The mission was inspiring, but inspiration couldn't pay the bills. Soon, OpenAI faced a difficult reality. If it wanted to keep pushing the technology forward, it needed far more money than a traditional research lab could ever raise. That led to one of the most controversial decisions in the company's history. OpenAI changed its structure, allowing it to attract massive investment while still pursuing its long-term mission. Supporters called it a necessary step. Critics called it a betrayal of OpenAI's original vision. Almost overnight, a debate spread across the technology world. Was OpenAI still protecting humanity, or was it slowly becoming another powerful tech giant? No one knew the answer. But while the world argued, OpenAI kept building, quietly, patiently, relentlessly, preparing something that would surprise the entire world. Within just a few years, its AI could write, reason, generate code, and hold conversations that felt astonishingly human. The impossible was starting to become reality. But OpenAI's biggest breakthrough was still waiting. And one product launch would soon change artificial intelligence forever. For years, OpenAI worked quietly. No blockbuster product launches, no global headlines, no mainstream attention. From the outside, it looked like just another AI research company. But behind closed doors, something extraordinary was taking shape. OpenAI wasn't trying to build a better search engine or a faster chatbot. It was trying to build a new kind of intelligence. Its researchers believed that if an AI system learned from massive amounts of human knowledge, it could begin to understand patterns in language, not by memorizing answers, but by predicting what should come next. That idea became the foundation of a family of models called GPT. The early versions were impressive, but far from perfect. They could write simple paragraphs, answer basic questions, and complete sentences. Useful, but not revolutionary. Many people still believed truly powerful AI was decades away. OpenAI believed otherwise. So instead of slowing down, it accelerated. Every new model became larger, smarter, and more capable. Training them required enormous computing power, billions of words of text, and staggering amounts of money. The costs exploded, but so did the results. Suddenly, AI could summarize documents, translate languages, write computer code, create stories, and explain complex ideas in surprisingly simple ways. Inside OpenAI, researchers realized they were getting closer to something extraordinary. Outside the company, almost nobody noticed. The biggest breakthrough in artificial intelligence was happening in near silence. Then came a decision that would change everything. Instead of keeping this technology inside research papers, OpenAI decided to put it into the hands of ordinary people. It was a huge gamble. If it failed, years of work could disappear overnight. But if it succeeded, the world would never look at artificial intelligence the same way again. Then, in late 2022, that gamble became a product called ChatGPT. Within days, millions of people were using it. The internet exploded, and the quiet research lab that almost nobody knew suddenly became the center of the biggest technology revolution of the day. When ChatGPT launched in late 2022, almost nobody expected what would happen next. There was no billion-dollar marketing campaign, no massive product launch, no worldwide event. And yet, within days, the internet exploded. Social media was flooded with screenshots. People couldn't stop talking about it. Students used it to study. Programmers used it to write code. Writers used it to overcome creative blocks. Businesses began using it for research, customer support, and productivity. For the first time, artificial intelligence didn't feel distant. It felt simple, accessible, and incredibly powerful. Almost overnight, millions of people signed up. The growth was unlike anything the technology industry had seen before. Every day, new examples appeared online. AI writing essays, summarizing books, translating languages, generating business ideas, explaining complex topics in seconds. The impossible suddenly felt normal. The world wasn't just talking about AI anymore. It was using it. But success created a new problem. Could OpenAI handle the demand? Every conversation required enormous computing power. Every response consumed expensive hardware. And as millions of new users arrived, the pressure kept growing. At the same time, the rest of the technology industry finally woke up. Companies that once dismissed AI as a distant dream now realized the future had arrived. Artificial intelligence was no longer tomorrow's technology. It had become today's reality. The AI race had officially begun. Technology giants rushed to build their own AI systems. Billions of dollars poured into the industry. Governments started discussing new AI regulations. Business leaders began redesigning their future around artificial intelligence. In just a matter of months, OpenAI transformed from a little-known research lab into one of the most influential technology companies on Earth. But becoming the leader was only the beginning, because creating revolutionary AI was one challenge. Staying ahead would be an even bigger one. The next battle wouldn't just decide who builds the best AI, it would decide who shapes the future of artificial intelligence itself. ChatGPT didn't just change OpenAI, it changed the entire technology industry. Almost overnight, artificial intelligence became the biggest race in tech. No company wanted to be left behind. The first giant to stand beside OpenAI was Microsoft. The company invested billions of dollars and provided the enormous computing power needed to train increasingly advanced AI models. But this wasn't just another business deal. It was a strategic alliance. OpenAI gained access to world-class infrastructure. Microsoft gained access to one of the most powerful AI technologies ever created. Soon, AI features began appearing across Microsoft's products. The partnership was reshaping the future of software itself. Meanwhile, Google found itself under pressure. For years, Google had led the world in AI research. Many of the breakthroughs behind modern language models came from its own scientists. But now, Another company had captured the world's attention. For the first time, Google was being forced to catch up. The response was immediate. New AI projects accelerated. New products were announced. The race had officially begun. Then came Meta. The company poured billions into artificial intelligence, hired top researchers, and released powerful open-source AI models. Around the world, governments announced national AI strategies. Startups attracted record-breaking investments, and new AI companies appeared almost every week. This was no longer a battle to build the smartest chatbot. It had become a race to shape the future of business, education, healthcare, entertainment, and even national security. At the center of it all stood OpenAI. The small research lab that once struggled for attention had become one of the most influential companies on Earth. But with great influence came even greater responsibility. As AI grew more powerful, the questions became more difficult. Who should control this technology? How should it be regulated? And what happens if AI becomes more capable than the systems we depend on today? No one had the answers. But one thing was becoming impossible to ignore. The AI war had only just begun, and its outcome could shape the future of humanity for decades to come. For the first time in history, humanity isn't just building better machines. It's building machines that can think, create, reason, and help solve problems once thought impossible. It's an incredible opportunity, but also an enormous responsibility. Today, OpenAI stands at the center of one of the biggest technological revolutions our world has ever seen. Whether it remains the leader or not, one fact can no longer be ignored. It changed the technology industry forever. Just as the internet transformed communication and smartphones transformed everyday life, artificial intelligence is transforming how we learn, work, create, and imagine the future. The question is no longer whether AI will change the world. It already has. The real question is, how wisely will humanity choose to use it? Because the next chapter of artificial intelligence hasn't been written yet, and every one of us will help shape its future. If you enjoyed this documentary, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Hidden Empires. Every week we uncover the untold stories behind the world's biggest companies, billion-dollar businesses, and the empires shaping our future. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next documentary.